Hello, friends. Welcome back. Today we're diving into three of the most fascinating Kennedy half-dollar coins: the 1971, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial, and the 1979 issue. At first glance, they might look like ordinary 50-cent pieces, but don't be fooled. Hidden among them are ray strikes, mint errors, and pristine coins worth thousands, even millions, in today's market. These halves aren't just coins. They are treasures of American history that could change your fortune overnight. So stay with me till the end, because one of these coins might just be the jackpot hiding in your pocket. The first up, in the world of American coins, very few pieces capture the imagination like the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. At first glance, it may look like just another large coin sitting quietly in a drawer or jar change. But behind its design lies a story of history, honor, and hidden value. Collectors across the globe know this coin not just as money, but as a piece of American spirit, one that has a potential to unlock unimaginable fortune if found in the right condition or with the right minting era. The Kennedy half-dollar was first struck in 1964, only months after the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy. It was America's way of honoring a leader whose vision and energy touched millions of lives. By 1971, the composition of the coin had shifted away from silver into copper-nickel clad, but its importance had not diminished. Every Kennedy half-dollar carries with it the weight of memory, pride, and a symbol of change in American coinage. The 1971 edition holds a special place in history. It was the very first year when Kennedy half-dollars were minted entirely without silver for circulation. That makes the coin a turning point, marking the beginning of a new era in U.S. currency. But here's the exciting part. Within this very year, some rare minting errors slipped through, double strikes, off-center designs, and even a few examples struck mistakenly on leftover silver planches. These rare pieces are the ones collectors fight to own, and they can turn a simple coin into a life-changing treasure worth millions. Imagine this. A coin you thought was only 50 cents could, in fact, be worth more than a house, a car, or even a lifetime of earnings. That's the kind of magic hidden in the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar. Collectors often speak of finding one in dirty condition, overlooked and forgotten, yet carrying an unimaginable wealth within. It's the thrill of discovery, the dream that something so ordinary could hold extraordinary power. The beauty of the Kennedy half-dollar doesn't lie only in its value, but also in its design. The obverse features a strong and dignified profile of John F. Kennedy, symbolizing courage and leadership. The reverse shows a presidential coat of arms, the American eagle spreading its wings wide, a reminder of freedom and national pride. Owning this coin means holding a piece of American heritage in your hands. And when that heritage is paired with rarity, you suddenly realize its true worth. By 1971, millions of half-dollars were minted, but only a handful of error coins and pristine examples survive that command sky-high prices today. The collector's market thrives on scarcity, condition, and story. A coin with a D mint mark, struck in Denver, or the no mint Philadelphia issues can both fetch fortunes if discovered in flawless condition or with a rare flaw. It's not just metal, it's a ticket into a world where history and wealth collide. Think of it like this. Every coin tells a story, but the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar tells two. The first is the story of America's tribute to a fallen leader. The second is a story of hidden fortune waiting to be uncovered. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one in remarkable condition, you might be holding a key to unimaginable riches. And that's why collectors all over the world keep their eyes wide open for this coin. It's not just change, it's a chance at destiny. What makes this even more fascinating is the emotion behind the coin. Every Kennedy half-dollar carries with it a piece of collective memory. Families saved them as keepsakes, collectors stored them in albums, and ordinary people tucked them away without realizing the hidden treasure they were holding. That emotional bond, combined with the rarity of certain 1971 examples, is what drives their value through the roof in today's market. So, the next time you see a 1971 Kennedy half-dollar, whether in dirty condition, sitting in a coin jar, or tucked away in a box, don't ignore it. Look closer, because it could be one of the most valuable pieces of change you'll ever find. This coin has the power to transform an ordinary day into an extraordinary one, the power to change your fortune overnight. Remember, never spend it at low price, because inside this half-dollar lives a possibility of a millionaire's dream, waiting for the right person to discover its worth. The second up. Few coins stir the heart of collectors and everyday Americans like the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, also known as a bicentennial half. At first glance, it may appear like an ordinary 50-cent piece, but in truth, it represents one of the most celebrated chapters in United States history. Minted to honor America's 200th birthday, this coin carries not just metal, but memory. And in the world of numismatics, a rare or pristine 1976 Kennedy half-dollar has the power to transform from pocket change into a millionaire's dream. The Kennedy half-dollar itself was born in 1964, created in memory of President John F. Kennedy after his tragic assassination. It was America's tribute to a leader whose legacy still echoes through time. But in 1976, something extraordinary happened. The United States Mint redesigned the coin to mark 200 years of independence. On the obverse remained Kennedy's proud profile, but the reverse showed something new and patriotic. The image of Independence Hall in Philadelphia, the very place where freedom was declared. Suddenly, this coin was more than money. It was a symbol of liberty. The 1776 to 1976 half-dollar became one of the most widely collected coins of modern America, yet hidden among the millions struck are treasures so rare that they can command values in the thousands, even millions, under the right conditions. Proof strikes, silver-clad versions, and rare mint errors have turned an ordinary half-dollar into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Imagine holding what you thought was a 50-cent coin, only to realize it carries the weight of a fortune, capable of changing your life forever. The story behind this coin is as rich as the country it celebrates. When the bicentennial was approaching, Congress authorized special design for circulating coins. The Kennedy half-dollar was chosen as one of the symbols of America's 200-year milestone. These coins were not just currency. They were souvenirs of history, handed to Americans as a reminder of how far the nation had come. Every detail, from Kennedy's profile to the engraved Independence Hall, was meant to unite people under one story: freedom, resilience, and hope. But for collectors, the true magic lies in the rare and exceptional. Some 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollars were struck in 40% silver, intended for collectors, while others were minted in copper-nickel for everyday use. Yet, errors slipped through, double strikes, off-center images, and proof coins with striking flaws. These anomalies are where unimaginable value is found. A coin that most would spend without thought could, under the right circumstances, be worth hundreds of thousands, even millions, to the right buyer. Think of the irony. A coin designed to celebrate freedom and unity is now also a gateway to financial freedom for those who discover its hidden worth. A flawless 1776 to 1976 bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar in uncirculated condition is like a time capsule, its surface is shining as though untouched since the very day it left the mint. In today's market, collectors are willing to pay astonishing amounts for these pristine examples, driven by nostalgia, history, and the thrill of rarity. This coin's design itself adds to its power. The front, with Kennedy's noble portrait, keeps alive the memory of a young president whose life was cut short, while the reverse takes us deeper into America's past, straight to the very building where independence was born. Owning one of these coins is like holding both history and destiny in your hand. And when a rare version is uncovered, its value goes beyond money. It becomes a piece of living history with the power to shape futures. The bicentennial Kennedy half-dollar has a special place in millions of households. Many Americans tucked them away as keepsakes in 1976, passing them down through generations. Some lie forgotten in drawers or jars, waiting for rediscovery. But that's what makes this coin so thrilling. It could be anywhere. An old roll of coins, a dusty collection, or even pocket change could be hiding a coin worth millions. It's a reminder that treasure doesn't always lie in gold or jewels. Sometimes it hides in plain sight. So, if you come across a 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar, do not underestimate it. Hold it carefully, look closer, and know that you may be touching one of the most valuable half-dollars in U.S. history. Don't spend it at low price, because it could be the very coin that changes your fortune overnight. Remember, this is not just a 50-cent piece. It's a celebration of freedom, a symbol of a great nation, and potentially a treasure of unimaginable wealth waiting for its rightful owner. The third up. The 1979 Kennedy half dollar could hold the power to transform your life. Some of these coins, especially in rare mint condition or with unique errors, carry a value so unimaginable that collectors will pay fortunes for them. A coin that was once worth half a dollar might now be the key to wealth that could make you a millionaire overnight. The Kennedy half dollar series itself began in 1964, born out of sorrow and remembrance after the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The American people wanted a lasting tribute, and what better way than to place Kennedy's noble profile on the 50-cent piece? By 1979, the coin had already become a symbol of both history and national pride. Every strike carried a memory of a fallen leader and the spirit of a country moving forward. The 1979 Kennedy half dollar was minted in large numbers, but hidden within those millions are treasures. Coins that were struck with absolute perfection, coins that never entered circulation, and coins that left the mint with rare errors. These are the ones that collectors chase with unshakable passion. In flawless condition, some of these half dollars can command staggering amounts, turning a humble pocket piece into a life-changing discovery. Part of the magic of the 1979 half dollar lies in its design. The obverse proudly displays Kennedy's profile, sharp, dignified, and forever young, while the reverse shows a presidential seal, an eagle with outstretched wings, holding the olive branch and arrows of peace and strength. This imagery alone makes the coin timeless, but in pristine condition, the artistry glows like it was minted yesterday, catching the eye of collectors who are willing to pay any price for perfection. Some of the most valuable examples of the 1979 Kennedy half dollar are those minted in uncirculated proof sets or struck with errors. Double die obverses, off-center strikes, and coins struck on wrong planches have all been recorded in the Kennedy half dollar series. When such errors surface, they ignite bidding wars in the numismatic world. That is why a coin most would dismiss as just 50 cents can suddenly be valued in the hundreds of thousands, even millions, if rarity and condition align. Think of it this way. This coin was created for everyday use, to pass from hand to hand without thought. Yet today, it can represent unimaginable wealth. That contrast, the ordinary turning into the extraordinary, is what makes the 1979 Kennedy half dollar so fascinating. It reminds us that treasure doesn't always glitter like gold. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, waiting for the right eyes to recognize it. The Kennedy half dollar also represents the resilience of America itself. When President Kennedy's image was placed on the coin, it became more than currency. It became a promise that the ideals of leadership, courage, and progress would endure. By 1979, the coin was no longer new, but it had become an enduring part of American life. And for collectors today, holding onto such a coin is like holding a piece of national memory, a bridge to a moment that defined a generation. Across America, these coins lie forgotten in drawers, tucked away in boxes, or sitting unnoticed in coin jars. Families may have saved them as keepsakes, unaware that certain examples are worth far beyond their face value. That is the beauty of coin collecting. At any moment, an ordinary discovery can become an extraordinary story. One coin, in the right condition, could hold the power to change not just your pocket, but your future. So, if you come across a 1979 Kennedy half dollar, pause and take a closer look. Don't rush to spend it at 50 cents. It might be one of those rare treasures that hold the key to unimaginable wealth. Remember, fortune sometimes hides in the smallest places, and in the case of the 1979 Kennedy half dollar, it hides in a piece of American history that continues to shine brighter with every passing year. This isn't just a coin, it's a potential fortune, a piece of legacy, and perhaps the opportunity of a lifetime.